Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome back to another Sunday. Hope everyone's doing well. Enjoying the last of the weekend before the interesting parts of the week commence. We've got a busy show. We have got a busy show. We're going to be talking about Nicolas Jackson. We're going to be talking about Nicolas Jackson and Chelsea. We're going to talk about Garnacho, Conrad Harder. We're going to talk about potential signings. We're going to talk about Josh Ashiempong potentially leaving the club, Tariq George to Roma. We're going to talk about Edison, Donnarumma. Because I still can't believe that we're allowing certain players to just go from under our radar. Very similar to the Xavi Simons deal. We're going to talk about all of that in this video. Because I think it's mental. The last 24 hours, we never do anything sensible, easy at Chelsea. We always have to do something that just, when things are going well, you know, you're top of the league, unbeaten so far this season, something has to go wrong for Chelsea. First of all, it was Cole Palmer. Then it's Liam Delap yesterday. Then we've got this whole thing around Nicolas Jackson, which we're going to get straight into in a minute. But before we do that, as always, make sure you hit the subscribe button, you like the video, share the video, all of that good stuff. Make sure you do all of that for me. Let's get some likes up. Let's get some people in the chat as well. Yeah, there's a lot to try and unpick in the last 24 hours because it's just been crazy. But let's start with Nicolas Jackson, who wanted away from Chelsea. He wanted a new challenge. He didn't want to be at the club because of João Pedro, because of a lot of reasons, but mainly João Pedro, Liam Delap coming into the team. Nicolas Jackson wanted a new challenge. He didn't want to fight for his place. We found a good deal for him in terms of going to Bayern Munich, which seemed to work. Liam Delap sadly gets injured. Looks like a hamstring injury. Looks like he's going to be out for some time. And now all of a sudden, we get this. Nicolas Jackson does not want to come back. Chelsea tried to hijack, terminate, whatever you want to call it, the move for Nicolas Jackson to go to Bayern Munich. He's on his way there yesterday. Medical was booked for yesterday. Injury to Liam Delap. Agents online on social media is like a 18-year-old girl constantly tweeting and posting cryptic posts. You know, we have to remember, Nicolas Jackson is under contract. He's a Chelsea player. He's under contract. I think he's got, 8 years left on his deal? Something stupid like that. He's a Chelsea player. This was only meant to be a loan with obligation. So this was only a loan. He hadn't signed anything with the club. He was going to get a medical. He was given approval to go and have the medical. But things can change very quickly in football. He's a Chelsea player. Me personally, I said it when it was Alexander Isak. I've said it when it's other players. I'd say it when it was Wissa for Brentford as well. You just have to turn up and pay for the club that's paying you. And he wanted the move to Bayern Munich, fair enough. But when circumstances change and the club that pays your wages is telling you you need to get back on the plane and get back to London, just get back on the plane and get back to London. Because we can't realistically sign any other players unless we get some really good money. I think the obligation, was close to 80 million euros for Nicolas Jackson if we can sell him on a permanent basis. Now, if we can't get that, if we can't get rid of Nicolas Jackson, I don't think we bring a striker in. I think there's no choice but for Nicolas Jackson to come back. And the only way I think he leaves the club on loan is if there's a mandatory obligation to buy him at the end of that loan period. And Bayern Munich have already said they don't want to do that. Bayern Munich have said they already don't want to do that. We wanted the mandatory clause in that loan deal. The reason why €80 million loan fee was agreed was because we were then able to, Bayern Munich were able to install an obligation loan fee, a loan permanent fee in there, not a mandatory. So Nicolas Jackson's a Chelsea player. He has to come back to the club. It's as simple as that. This is what the latest is from David Ornstein. This is from this morning. It does say that Chelsea are considering signing a new striker in case of Nicolas Jackson's move to Bayern Munich. It goes on to say that Chelsea are considering signing a new striker before the window shuts tomorrow in case Nicolas Jackson does leave permanently. Jackson was set to join Bayern Munich on loan until Chelsea lost Liam Delap to a hamstring injury. They've revoked Jackson's permission to undergo a medical, asking him to return from Germany. The London club now do not intend to let the 24-year-old Senegal international make a temporary switch under any circumstances. As things stand, Chelsea expect Jackson to rejoin head coach Enzo Maresca's first-team squad for a packed schedule of domestic and European competition. They are, however, studying contingency plans for the event of a suitable proposal arriving prior to Monday's trading deadline. Now, there is a lot of talk, as it says here, around Denmark and Sporting CP attacker Conrad Harder, who has been okay for Sporting as well. But I want to ask this question. I do want to ask this question. Is this a bit reactionary? Are we overreacting? Let's put things into a bit of perspective, because if we lose Liam Delap, now I want to show you this as well before we talk about the perspective side of things, actually, because I personally do think, now this might sway the opinion of many, but I do think we're overreacting a little bit. But it does say here, this is recent, this is only a couple of hours ago, Liam Delap requires another scan in the next 48 hours, which may rule him out for even longer. Now, for those that don't know, many hamstring injuries, you're talking about 4 to 6 weeks minimum. You know, you're talking about a 4 to 6 week window where you're going to lose that player. My question is, if it is only 4 weeks, or even for argument's sake, let's say it's 6 weeks that we lose Liam Delap, 2 of those weeks are the international break. That leaves 4 weeks. Theoretically, could leave 2 weeks. Are we not overreacting a little bit here? Are we not overreacting by bringing in another striker in Conrad Harder or whoever, it could be Wissa, whoever we bring in? Are we not overreacting slightly just because it's not unless it's a long-term injury to Liam Delap, and I'm talking months, I'm talking 2-3 months, layoff, surgery. If it's that situation, of course, you need to bring in another striker. But if it's 4 weeks and two of the weeks is international break, and you're expecting him back within the next 2 weeks after the international fixtures, are we not overreacting slightly? Do we seriously need to go and spend more money? If I'm being 110% honest, and this is really rubbish timeline, to be fair, because 48 hours, the window will have shut by then. It doesn't we can't sign anyone Wednesday or Tuesday. So this is a really rubbish timeline in terms of when that scan will happen. Hopefully it happens before the window shuts. But if it doesn't, it leaves us in a bit of a predicament. Because my worry is that if we go and buy Conrad Harder or any other striker, they're going to find themselves in exactly the same situation that Nicolas Jackson finds himself in. He's going to be third in the pecking order. Is someone really going to want to come to the club and be third choice striker? That's my question. That's where I think, are we not just better off looking at the alternatives here? Because there are alternatives. The alternatives are simple. We can play Pedro Neto there. Pedro Neto can play the 9. We know this. If it's a short-term solution, we've got João Pedro. Liam Delap, he comes back, he fills that void again. I just think we're overreacting a little bit too much with this. We've got to sign a striker. We've got to sign a striker. I want to look at the thing for me, if I'm being honest, what I would personally want to see is I'd want to see us go and get someone like Jamie Vardy, who has actually signed the deal in Serie A today. If we're going to go and sign someone, I want us to go and get someone that knows their role, knows that they're coming in as third choice. If we could have, I would love to have gone and got Olivier Giroud. Because that's the sort of signing, I think, when you've got an injury like this, that's the sort of signing I would expect to see. An Olivier Giroud, Jamie Vardy, someone that just comes in, they know they're not going to be playing week in, week out when Liam Delap's fully fit again, but they can come in and do a job. And that's just, for me, I don't think we need someone who's expecting to play every week. I think we need someone that's going to come in, know that they're not going to play every week, and just fill those gaps. That's an Olivier Giroud. That's a Jamie Vardy. Conrad Harder is a very good striker, but let's just look at all the options that we have here. Because there's got to be a couple. There's got to be a couple. There's got to be a couple of 30 plus strikers hanging around, waiting for the phone to ring. That's what I'm talking about. Luka Jokovic, is he available? There we go. Why don't we go and get Diego Costa back? Maxi Gomez, another one. Mariano Diaz. Diego Costa's available. 36 years of age. But look, I mean, you want someone that's just going to come in and fill the void. I don't think we need to go and buy a big striker. Luka Jokovic, for me, could do a job. Danny Ings. This is what I mean. We need someone like that. We need someone who's just going to come in and just do the job. Not someone who's going to come in and expect to play week in, week out. And then when Liam Delap's back, they're struggling to get minutes in the team, and they want out. They want to go on loan. For me, I just think it's a bit of a panic in terms of what we're trying to do with signing a striker. When we've got other areas of the pitch, for me, that we need to still address the goalkeeper situation. For me, you address the goalkeeper situation first before anything else. But like I said, I think, here's some more as well, some more news on this. But like I said, I think Nicolas Jackson just has to understand the situation. This could be a very good opportunity. If Liam Delap is out for 2 months, this is a very good opportunity for Nicolas Jackson to show Maresca, Chelsea fans, other Chelsea players, the coaches, what he can do in the team. Come back and fight for your place. Don't take the easy route and go to Bayern Munich. This is your opportunity, but I generally don't think this deal happens unless it's a permanent deal. The Bayern Munich director, as you can see here, is saying Chelsea have informed us that they want the player back after we reached an agreement yesterday and we were allowed to conduct the medical. Now the situation is that the boy is in Munich and we have to send him back. That's the current state of affairs. I can't look into the future. We're well within our rights to ask for Nicolas Jackson back. We are well within our rights to ask for him back, because even though all this is happening here, Nicolas Jackson does not want to return to Chelsea despite the club trying to cancel his loan move to Bayern Munich and insisting he must fly back to England. He's got to come back. I don't see in what world Nicolas Jackson can force this move. I suppose the only way around it is that he's got permission from the club to go and have the medical already. But the club has the overarching, the final say. You got to come back. You got to come back, mate. You got to come back and fight for your place. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. This is interesting as well. Bayern Munich are interested in a deal for Josh Ashiempong. There are indications that they are trying to ponder an attempt to sign him on loan with an obligation to buy. Chelsea have no interest in selling Ashiempong, which I'm happy about, because the one player that I do think will leave if I'm being honest, is I think will leave will be Tweet George. I think he ends up at Roma. I think tomorrow he gets his Roma move. I think it was telling yesterday that he was subbed on, subbed off, didn't really impact the game as such. But I think Tariq George potentially will leave the club tomorrow. I think he leaves. And it'd be a shame for him because I think again he's gonna be one of those players that will regret letting go. I think he'll be one of those players that if he does move on, we will regret not keeping him. He's a very good player, a very, very solid player. Someone that I think we know can play well, plays good football, can play, he's predominantly down the left side, but he can play on the right as well. I just think he needs minutes somewhere. I'd rather he gets a loan rather than a permanent move, but this is Chelsea Football Club. We know what happens here. We know what happens here at Chelsea Football Club, but we have to just hope we sign a striker. If we don't get Nicolas Jackson back, we do have to sign a striker. But for me, I'd be looking at one of those options that, like I said, it's someone that comes in a bit older, comes in, plays 2 or 3 games, plays against Lincoln City. That sort of player. You don't want to be bringing in a player that's expectations are they're going to be starting week in, week out. Because for me, as I said, Pedro Neto can play there. Gittins can play on the left. We've got another player that can play on the left side as well, and Garnacho. We just need to be careful with this signing. I think we need to be careful who we end up signing. We really do. Let's talk about Garnacho very quickly. Enzo Maresca and what Garnacho can bring. Signed yesterday, £40 million, made 147 appearances for Manchester United as well. He's got 8 caps for Argentina. He won the FA Cup 2024. Victory over Man City. It does say somewhere, I think in one of these articles, that he spoke to... he did speak to Enzo Fernandez. Obviously, he's good mates with Enzo. My worry with this Garnacho deal is that I just feel like I generally feel like he's come here just. I feel like he's come here just because he wants the London life. I'll be honest. I think he wants the London life. I just think I don't know, man. I mean, this is true. I mean, we did mention this on a podcast on Friday, but there is an image of him going around where he's wearing our training kit. He said he's got admiration for Eden Hazard. He wants to play a lot of football this season. It'd be interesting if he starts against Brentford. I think a lot of things for me heavily hang on whether we go and get another striker. If we don't get another striker, I think Garnacho gets minutes in the team. I think he can play on that left side. We can maybe shift Neto to the number 9 role if we need to, or we can put João Pedro there. You can have Esteval playing as the 10. There are options. Garnacho can play on the right as well. And then you probably put Garnacho on the right with Neto or Gittins on the left. So there are options still. I generally think we're panicking with this Nicolas Jackson stuff. I think we're panicking. I think we're overthinking it. We think we're playing FIFA or Football Manager where we can just go and sign him, a player just like that. So my worry is if we bring in another striker, what do we do when Liam Delap's fit? What happens to that striker? This is why I think as well, we were silly because we should never have let Nicolas Jackson... If we wanted to bring in a striker, we let Mark Gui go to Sunderland. If you wanted to bring in a striker, you bring your striker in first, then you let Nicolas Jackson go. We've done it the other way around, and we've shot ourselves in the foot a little bit because you don't let your striker leave the club until you've got your replacement in. That's just how it works. Get your replacement in first, then you let the other player leave. We knew there were suitors for Nicolas Jackson. We knew that there were clubs interested in Nicolas Jackson. So a move away from Chelsea was never going to be a problem. Whether that was a loan with obligation or mandatory or option, it didn't matter because we knew there was going to be options for Nicolas Jackson to leave the club. But what we should have done was get the striker in that we wanted. If this is what we wanted to do, you go and get your striker first, then you let Nicolas Jackson leave. Don't let Nicolas Jackson leave and then now we've got to scurry around and try and get a striker in within 24 hours. The window shuts, I think, 5 p.m. tomorrow. So that's my worry. That's where I think we went wrong. We should have got that striker, whether it was Conrad Harder or whoever else or whoever. We should have gone and got that striker in. And this is where I kept saying months and months ago, we needed to bring in a good striker. Not saying João Pedro and Liam Delap aren't that, but we needed someone who was levels above. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, Sesko hasn't started very well, but I think Sesko would have been playing a completely different level of football, a different style of football to how he is currently at Manchester United. I think he would have suited him playing for us. I really do. And I think had we got someone like him in, none of this panic and overthinking and reaction, like overreacting about not having a striker would never be an issue. I just think we're stupid to allow it to get to this point where we're still panicking. We're going to end up panic buying unless we can get Nicolas Jackson back. We're going to panic buy. We're going to panic buy, and I can see it happening. I can see it happening. There's a bit of news on goalkeeper situations, which I want to get you guys' thoughts on, because I think this is something we should be interested in as well. I said it around Donnarumma, who looks like he's got his heart set on Manchester City. Ederson looks like he's going to Fenerbahce, which I think is mental. If we let Ederson go to Fenerbahce and we don't even attempt to get him, I sound like a scratch record because I said the same about Donnarumma, but if we don't even attempt to get this deal, I mean, this is a deal that we could easily get done. This is a deal that we could easily get done. Fenerbahce are working on a deal to sign Ederson from Manchester City. They've entered the race trying to get a deal done after Galatasaray had £10 million rejected. If Ederson leaves, Donnarumma will join Man City, as always reported. Ederson. I mean, look, he's been out of favour. This is where I think, again, I feel with Man City, I think they're coming to that part of their good run of seasons, 4 back-to-back Premier Leagues. I feel like City are coming to that point where United are now. They're going to get to a point where they've hit their heights. They've had this really good run at the very top, but every dog has its day. And I feel like City's is coming because you're letting Ederson go. James Trafford was in goal the other day and he was a shocker for them. Donnarumma, we know about his distribution. It's not the best, but the way Pep wants you to play, you have to have good distribution. And Ederson's got that. If we let him go and we don't even attempt to try and get that deal, for me, I'm looking at the striker options now and I'm thinking Nicolas Jackson, whatever I've said before, this should be priority number 1 for me. Goalkeeper. Goalkeeper should be priority number 1 at Chelsea right now. Forget the striker issues, forget all of that. Unless Liam Delap is out for 6 months, he's going to be back. He's going to be back in 4 weeks. Forget buying a striker. Get a goalkeeper. Ederson's right there. This is a world-class goalkeeper. We're not talking about a mediocre goalkeeper. We're talking about one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Could be going for less than 20 million euros. Understands the Premier League. Won multiple stuff at City, Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, FA Cups. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. If we allow this to happen, I can't believe it. And then it gets worse. It gets even worse because then Manchester United have agreed personal terms with Martinez and approached Aston Villa. So he's on his way. So that's the difference. United look at Onana, they can see that he's not good enough. Man City clearly don't want Ederson. They must think Donnarumma is the better goalkeeper. They're dealing with that situation. We're still talking about Sanchez. And we're not even addressing that. We're not even addressing the fact that we need a goalkeeper. A proven goalkeeper at the very top of his game still is Ederson. Martinez, I'm not too sure about, but definitely Ederson. There's not a team Ederson doesn't walk into. There's not a team in the world that Ederson can't walk into and still do a job for them. And if we don't even entertain tomorrow, forget the striker. I've been talking myself out of this for the last 24 hours. We don't need a striker. Let's be honest. I'm just going to lay it out there on the table. We don't need a striker. We don't need a striker. We don't. Unless for some weird reason, this hamstring injury for Liam Delap requires surgery. He's out for 4 months or whatever. Of course, go and get a striker. We need to do that. But if it's only 4 weeks and 2 of those weeks is an international break, why are we panicking for a striker? Let's go and get this deal done. Let's go and get Ederson done. Why are we allowing top talent to leave and we're not doing anything about it? What is going on? It's mental. Here we go. Look at this. This is the sort of, if you want to bring in a striker, ladies and gentlemen, that's the sort of striker you want to go and get yourself. Someone that knows his role, knows he's not going to be playing every week. Jamie Vardy to Cremonese. Here we go. Deal in place. An initial till 2026 plus option for 1+ further season if staying in Serie A. Agreement done right now, and Vardy scheduled to travel tonight to Milano in order to start a new chapter. That's the sort of, if you want to bring in a striker, there's your man. That's the guy you go and get to fill in the gaps. Not Conrad Harder, who's going to want to start every single game. Who's a very good player, but not Conrad Harder, who's going to want to play week in, week out. Jamie Vardy knows if he comes to Chelsea, he's not playing week in, week out. Is he going to play when you've got an injured Liam Delap? 110%, yes. Does he score goals? Yes. That's the sort of striker you want to go and get yourself. I said a couple of weeks ago, I'm praising the owners, the sporting directors for everything that they do in terms of everything that they're doing. But when you see players that your club should potentially be going for, and you're letting them slip off the radar in the way that we are, you got to question what's going on. You got to question if it's the right thing. Because we should be all over Ederson. We should have been all over a Jamie Vardy and getting those sort of deals done. And they cost you next to nothing. Jamie Vardy would not be expecting astronomical wages. Sensible wages, bit of experience as well, bit of leadership. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Nicolas Jackson has to come back. There's no excuses for Nicolas Jackson. He has to come back. He has to come back. And it's as simple as that. He might not be happy about it. He might be annoyed. But he's got to come back. He's a Chelsea player. You signed the deal. You signed an extension to the deal. We pay your wages. You got to get back on the plane, mate. Get back. Start training. This is his opportunity. I still can't believe he thinks he thinks the grass is greener in Munich. This is your opportunity. This is his opportunity to play some good football. You've got a good couple of weeks here. Champions League football at Chelsea Football Club. This is not an Alexander Isak situation. Nicolas Jackson has to come back to Chelsea. There's no ifs or buts. I want to see if if he wants to force Chelsea's hand and see what happens, because I think Chelsea will definitely make an example out of him if he doesn't come back. Because a lot of people are saying, he's been treated unfairly. He we sort of pushed him out the club. We didn't push him out the club at all. Enzo Maresca has said on numerous occasions he did not want to leave. He didn't want to let Nicolas Jackson leave. He wants him. He's part of his squad. It's the other way around. Nicolas Jackson wants out of the club. He doesn't want to fight for his place. He sees João Pedro there. He sees Liam Delap there. His agent, clearly, you can tell his agent's the one pulling the strings. I've never seen an agent so vocal, so online, so much. He's an agent. You'd think he's I don't know. I don't know what you think. I don't know what he thinks he is. He's an agent. He's on Instagram tweeting posting every 2 minutes. You're an agent. You're a football agent. The plane doesn't go backwards, he said. Mate, get on the plane and come home. Because the only person that this will affect on the long term, the grand scheme of things, is Nicolas Jackson. Agents want their money. Agents want their little fee. So of course they want the deals to go through. But Nicolas Jackson has to think about what's sensible and viable for him. He has to get back on the plane. Because if he doesn't, it's a problem. It's a massive problem. You're already at the pecking order as it is already. Us Chelsea fans, we don't take any shit from anyone. We don't. If you don't want to play for the club, you saw what happened to Lukaku. It's as simple as that. These things will not just go away. So it's a really, really, really dodgy bridge to cross over. You saw what happened to Lukaku. You don't want to be in the same boat as Lukaku if you're Nicolas Jackson. Just come back, play your football. Maybe you get the move in January. Something might materialize then. But definitely would not be trying to force a move to Bayern Munich if the club are telling you to come back. Because if we don't sign anyone tomorrow, boy, I tell you something, he's got to come back. He's got to come back. It's as simple as that. He's got to come back. I don't think it can go any other way by him coming back. So we have to see. We have to see. But we're going to wrap up there, guys. We're going to wrap up there. Don't forget to subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think about Nicolas Jackson. Is he in the right? Is he in the wrong? Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit the Linktree link in the description as well. We'll be back tomorrow with more transfer news. The transfer deadline is tomorrow, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot more twists and a lot more turns at Cobham before the window shuts. So make sure you join the channel, hit the subscribe button, all of that good stuff. We'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday. Let's hope Arsenal, Liverpool, it's a draw. We don't need either of those teams to win today. So let's hope we get the draw in that game. Up the Chelsea. We'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy.